Okay, guys, good morning to all of you. Can you hear me loud and clear? All right, morning to you, Alex. Morning to you, Anthony, Louis. Morning to all of you. All right. Actually, today not supposed to have MAO. Yeah, because today I want to take a little break after the last Sunday event. But of course, when I see the market recovering more than 500 points from the bottom, I kind of compelled that if I don't do an MAO this morning, some people will be texting me nonstop. So might as well I do the MAO. So that's why this morning was a little bit rushed for me because I didn't expect to wake up so early. So I took a little bit more notes than usual. So what happened is that, okay, so I'm back here now doing this MAO live on this Trade with the Boys channel. All right, guys, good morning to all of you. Good morning to you, Norman, Jonathan, Eric, Daniel, good morning to you guys. Okay, let me just put my thing up to live right now. Okay, just a minute. Now, once again, guys, today is all right. Do send this message to all your friends who is in the market. That I'll cover some stocks today, and of course, I think that they will like to know what to look out for in terms of the support and resistance for current stocks as well. Now, I gave one set last week, and I believe that all the support level was triggered. Right, that means that I was right and spot on with the call at the top. And then now the price comes down. So I'll be covering the FANGs counter very shortly. Okay, now today I will have a little participation with you guys because I'm rushing a bit of time. As I say, I was not supposed to have MAO, but because I really care and concern for you guys deeply, whether you're my students or not my student, I still care for people. All right, I think this is my calling in life. So because of that itself, right, I feel that it's very important for me to make this MAO. All right, so get an idea now? Okay, so with that, without further ado, let's start my morning MAO right now. Just get myself settled down with all the details. On here. Okay, let's go live with my screenshot. There we go. Yeah. Okay, good. All right. Good morning to you once again. 26th of April. Today is Tuesday, Super Tuesday, student of mine. Later on at about 3:30 p.m., we will do our regular Super Tuesday revision. And today I will introduce the TWB board. Yeah, indeed, the board is finally ready after weeks and months of backtesting. Finally, is ready. So I will showcase with you at about 3:30 p.m. today. All right, so don't miss it. Okay. It'll be via Zoom, so all my students and all invited guests will get to access and watch this together. Now, your webcam, no need to turn on because I know it's a weekday, so some of you may be working. You can actually leave it on and hear the background. But of course, you can't see it, a bit difficult to understand, yeah? Okay, so for today, it's all right. Definitely, we have some issue in China and things is getting a little bit dicey there. That's why the stock market down by almost 2 to 3% yesterday. Now, of course, we have Twitter confirmed being bought. I mean, Elon Musk is going to buy Twitter. It's confirmed already, and the board gave in because the shareholders was literally begging or threatening the board itself. Okay, the shareholders, yeah. And of course, Apple, interesting, right? We're talking about Apple, that the earnings coming on this coming Thursday. Yep. Okay, coming Thursday, and apparently someone actually gave a downgrade on it in a way. Interesting. So we'll talk about this shortly. All right. And of course, the market recovered yesterday. There was a very strong recovery. And luckily, unfortunately, I actually kept a lot of people to buy back their shorts in the market. And of course, many people actually profited. Because I just feel very uncomfortable with the way it was coming down. And I mentioned to people that traditional conventional indicators are a bit near to the oversold point. So there could be some recovery, which I didn't expect so much. Okay, so we'll talk about it later. Okay, all right, let me just text back someone here. It's up for 1 minute. Okay, let's go. Okay, sorry, my bad. I didn't do the okay. Dow stage sorry, there's an error here. Okay, for one, it's a typo error. Okay, Dow stage a big rebound. Morgan Stanley calls for bear. Okay, now very, very interesting. You know, Morgan Stanley, Mike Wilson has been very big, a big bear. Okay, and honestly, he's spot on. Honestly, he's spot on. But I tell you, his timing itself is ridiculous. When I say ridiculous, means what? Okay, ridiculous means that when he calls for sell, on that moment he called for sell, right? It's almost incredibly, right? The market will always rebound. Yes, incredible. It means that he's actually correct. Okay, but the thing is the day he called for sell, I can guarantee you this, you back test this out, that very day the market will recover. So you make like a fool like that, right? But after a while later, the market will really go down very condescendingly. All right, interesting. It's a very interesting thing that I've been observing. Do you notice that? How many of you have actually noticed that whenever Mike Wilson from Morgan Stanley calls for sell, the market will always recover on the very day he called for sell. Then after that itself, right, the market will just gradually come back. Now, this is the only few times I asked you to participate. Do you take notice of that? Right, those who take notice of that, can you put notice, ED, yeah? Okay. So you will see that me covering later on, but as I said, let's continue first. Right, disclaimer apply as usual. If you notice that, please key the word notice, okay? Now, of course, this is a joke here once again for Wall Street, right? When did things go from a punch bowl to a punch in the face? Now, punch bowl obviously is celebration. People get happy. People get enjoying a party. But see now, the one that invite them to the bulls that got invited to the party every time the last 13 years has got punch. So rather than having the punch, they got the punch. Okay, so that is the whole joke of this. Now, the question is why Federal Reserve is doing that? I mean, put it this way. If let's say now I invite you to a party for 13 years in a row, come on, man, I think deservedly is all right. Okay, all the spending and all this thing is time to get back from you guys. Okay, so that's the reason why this is happening. Now, of course, yesterday it's all right that's to prove and evidently prove that TWB system is really an incredible one. You can see that, right? At 9:08 a.m. Okay, now the thing is this. Now, people are still, writing here and there, which are no longer concerned after Sunday's event. But I need to show you facts and evidence, okay? And that's where I like it, okay? Now, at about 9:08 a.m. Singapore time, okay? I mentioned that gold set to go to P2. Now, since the day KSI is red and fundamentally the US dollar will likely continue to trade higher. Okay, at that point itself, the gold was trading at about 1926 when I was calling for that. Okay, the gold was trading at 1926. All right, so what happened is this, I said that gold will go lower and I gave a figure. I said that it will go towards this level here, this level here, it will go to 1915. And the next level that I said during MAO was 1907. So I gave two numbers, 1915 and 1907. And okay, what happened? Everybody, more than 300 people, my students actually saw this particular posting, right? Look at it, my friends. Look at it. Beautiful, right? So what happened was that we shorted here, as you can see on the screen right now. We shorted here. Why? Because it was below opening price. Color changed from red to yellow. We call for sell. Okay, and then we shorted really. Okay, you can see that we shorted at 1922 and 1928. Okay. Then what happened after that itself? The market really slid down according to plan. And after that, we realized that there is a bomb right here. And this bomb itself, I couldn't stay up. So I know that when the market is doing a single yellow, I know that the boys are still selling. I know that the KCX is still green, but no uptick movement. All this collectively is a sell signal. So what happened? We continue to add on position to sell in the market. And just these two trades alone, we made about 2,400 US dollar. That's amazing, right? Just two trades alone, 2,400 US dollar. All right, guys. If you think that I was spot on for gold result, key the word gold spot on, okay? Gold spot on, okay? Because you can see that, right? Not only that we call for buy, not only that we tell you we made money from gold, I show you exactly where we entered, and also we also show you before it happened. That is more important, guys. I actually show you that it actually happened. I will give you the call at 9 a.m. All right, at 9 a.m. And this is where it happened at about probably at the time we call for it. And of course, we mentioned that during the MAO. All right, Susan, I see you online right now. Kindly broadcast today's today MAO to everybody, including to the 24th group. Yeah, thank you very much, Susan. Please do that. Okay, then after that is all right. We talk about, at the same time, we actually talk about this Dow Jones. Okay, at the same time, we talk about Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones was even better. The Dow Jones was trading at 33,679, right? Okay, that was where the Dow Jones was. Then after that, I mentioned that if the Dow is to go down, the Dow can go down all the way to this point here at 33,517. Okay, I mentioned that. Okay, and after that, I suspect that there'll be some support. And if the market failed to stay above it, we may see even lower level. Okay, so you can see that. So I gave another number result, and this number was here, and that was 32,990 level. Okay, so I gave these two numbers, and let's take a look what happened. Now, again, more than 300 people have actually watched this. Okay, that's my point. More than 300 people have watched this. So it's not just that I show you and then I don't tell you what happened, but you can see now, guys. Okay, so during the MAO, during the trading itself, we basically caught and shorted here. Why? Because it's below OP and below P1. The color change was here, CCYR, single yellow, and KSI was red, so double confirmed the sell signal. So after we shorted, right, the market went down and we were like in pretty good profit. Then we decided that, okay, why don't we just short one more time into the market? Okay, so we shorted once at 692, that was here. Okay, 692 was here. And then 566 is actually here. Okay, can you see that? Okay, so we shorted twice and we made about $1,000. And of course, we did call for sell. That was on the 19th of April. That was a couple of days ago. And the level we short was 34,474. And of course, the Dow Jones came down 1,000 points for us. And that's why we booked all the profit for $2,900. That's amazing, guys. So once again, all these really, really speaks volume of our system. And incredibly, if you notice that was whereby the market actually bottomed out. The market actually bottomed out around this area and went all the way up later itself. So that's once again tells you how powerful is the system of ours. So Dow was definitely spot on too. Okay. So you think that we also was spot on the Dow Jones itself, and you really get impressed by this, key the word Dow spot on. Now for students of mine, this is exactly what we are doing for a living. We really have a very powerful system. All you need to do is just follow and keep track with it, right? It's not easy to trade intraday, definitely, but if you want to be a professional trader, then your job is to be staying around. Now, if you're telling me, Cal, I'm actually working right now, I got no time to see the market, then of course it's going to be very difficult. It's just like telling a football player to be football player, but he don't train full time. Now, there's a very big difference between the English Premier League players and potentially our local league, because why? It is look at the way they are trained, and look at the time they train, and look at the type of equipment they have, food they take, the training, the physiotherapy, everything itself is a wholesome package. So as long as talent is not a problem, then usually it's all right. Players who are under that type of what they call facility and packages is all right. They usually will perform, undeniable, right? So once again, this really speaks volume about our system, right? Thank you very much. Okay, so guys, congratulations for those who actually profited from it. Now, the thing is this, guys, do note, okay, I am not joking. Although yesterday the market did rebound, but no joke itself, I'm still calling for this. I still believe that the Dow Jones could be heading towards 31,411 by July 2022. Now the Dow Jones closed, let me see what the Dow Jones closing now. The Dow Jones closed at 34,100 yesterday, right? So now the thing is this, that means we're talking about 3,000 points from where we are right now. So just to inform you, this is only for current new and for new and current TWB basic and premier students, okay? It's absolutely free, it's a Zoom session, but the only thing is this, you have to switch on your webcam. So which means that, right, if your webcam is switched off, we will just remove you away from the Zoom session. There'll be no asking. We will not even contemplate. You want to come back in again with no webcam, we're going to switch it off again. So that's what we'll be doing on that day itself. Now it's only for students only. That means that, right, public audience are not allowed unless this happens. Unless you turn it on with your family members behind you watching this together, and we can see that you are there, yes, of course, your family members can watch it. Now, if you want to watch it with your friends around you, also can. As long as one of you is a TWB student, all right, whether basic or this, what they call premium, it doesn't matter. As long as you are in the screen and you are really moving and your friends are behind you, you get a stadium to watch this together, we are absolutely fine, okay? Remember that. Now, the Zoom link will only be out on Saturday itself, okay? On Saturday itself, so about 8 o'clock, the Zoom link will be out, okay? But we will only start at 9:30 a.m., okay? Got it? Okay, so today we have the core durable goods, all right? We look at it, we talked about this yesterday, so we will skip this area. Now, the Dow Jones was incredible. It was down by almost 400 points at one stage, and that was where we went in to buy back our position. Then after that, it's all right, the market, wow, suddenly don't know where it got this strength, but of course, Twitter played a part and propel it all the way up itself, okay, up by 238 points. Now, do note, 33,400 was a low. The closing is 34,000, so which means that the market recovers 600 points from the low. That's why when the market recovers 500 points from it itself, I know that I have to do my MAO again. All right, so it's a very dedicated trainer who really care and concern for friends around me, even though you may or may not be my student. Okay, once again, that is really my calling. I feel that way. Okay, all right, so now with all this information on hand right now, just give me a moment. Okay, there's some messages coming in as usual. Okay. Okay. Okay, so what happened is Dow Jones stages a big reversal, okay, on Monday, closing up by 200 points. So what actually really happened? Okay, let's take a look, yeah? Just give me a moment, I just off some of my stuff. Okay, so what actually really happened? Okay, so Microsoft rallied amid falling interest rate. Okay, so S&P ticked up, okay, because the Nasdaq actually went up. Now, global concern was because the treasury yields came down from 2.9% to 2.8%. That's interesting. So because of that, straight away, the technology sniffed that some potential movement here and a lot of bargain hunting comes in. So Microsoft went by 2.5%, and it was the biggest, second biggest gain. Google, parent Alphabet, also gaining 2.9. Now, do note once again, Alphabet and this Microsoft will be what they call their earnings will be coming out tomorrow. Today after market close. Take note of that. Then Meta, Facebook will come out on the following day. Okay. So main thing is this: Twitter jumped by 5.7% because finally the social media company accepted Elon Musk's buyout. Now, really, for there's this Chinese word called 任性. When you are rich, you can really 任性. $44 billion is not a small little business. Yeah, it's actually a lot of money. But the question is this, okay? People are really going gaga, right? Now, do note the Nasdaq is down by 19.8%. We are actually at the bear territory area. There's no kidding itself, okay? All right, and of course, S&P is down. The only thing that is strong is now is the Dow Jones. I'll show you in a short while. So now the thing is, the Wall Street is braced for the stacked week of earnings, particularly reports from all the top counter, the FANGs. We'll cover that shortly. Now, about 160 companies will coming out data, and obviously these are the names. So end of the day is the market, economy doing bad. Now, I share with you, right, if Coca-Cola is not doing well, it's a concern. But interesting, Coca-Cola share up by 1.1% after the company reported better than expected before the bell. So that's the reason why the market recovered. But at the same time itself, right, the fear of global slowdown sent oil prices lower, and it's down to 3.5%. Now, I told you oil will be down yesterday, and I was absolutely correct. Okay, so the thing is this, I will do the recap only for my students later in the afternoon, so I'll skip all this area, but then I promise you look at the US market for a short moment, right? Let me bring it to you now. Okay, so let's take a look over here. Let me just clear the screen a little bit. Okay, as you can see, this is the all-time high of the Dow Jones, but I'm going to skip the Nasdaq first to make it easier to understand. Okay, now this is the all-time high of the Nasdaq recently back in November last year. Then after that, I have my 95%, 90%, 85%, and 80% level, right? I told you, right? Okay, so you got an idea now? Okay. So the thing is this, as you can see on your screen right now, the Nasdaq actually nosedive all the way to the 80% mark that was back in February, and almost instantly it rebounded back to the 85% mark. But when the 85% failed to stay, it comes back down to the 80% mark. But once it failed to go down much below the 80% mark, it rebounded back to the 85%. You got the idea now? Yes. So of course, if the market goes through 85%, the next level it might be going will be the 90%, which again, it looks beautiful, right? So don't you think that it's very easy to trade right now recently? Yes, of course. So if the market goes below the 90%, then definitely it may be going down to the 85%. So when the market was 85%, I was so bearish with the Nasdaq. Every time the Nasdaq comes to the 85% mark, I just call for sell, call for sell, call for sell. Get it, my friends? Now you understand the trick here yourself. And of course, where do I aim? Definitely I aim at the 80% mark. So you got it? Yes. Now you understand why yourself. Now the Nasdaq actually rebounding here. Now would the Nasdaq be going there? Well, if you are a buyer here, you can consider to put your TP at 14,262 because that is where the Nasdaq could be going if it stays up. So if it stays down, then we have a problem because if the market stays below the 80% mark, it will go back down again. So if it goes back down again, where would it be heading? Let's take a look here. Now, because I only did this indicator for under 80% mark, right? So it's pretty simple, guys. This is the low here at A. This is a low at B. And this is a low at C. Do you notice that B is lower than A, C is lower than B? So definitely for sure, if the market is to trade lower, then we will actually see the Nasdaq coming down towards here at least, and that will be easily 12,800 level. Okay, so the risk reward ratio is like this. Current price now is 13,570, right? The upside itself could be as high as 14,262. So that means the upside itself is about 700 points. Now, if the market chose to go down instead, then the next level, it might be going down will be here, right? So that means the downside itself could be also 700 points. Got it? So if you understand this and you got it, this keyword got it. All right, I want to see whether you get this. It's a very simple risk reward ratio management, okay? And I think that's a pretty decent one. So as long as you actually know your trade very well, all you do is just focus on the Nasdaq, okay, Nasdaq. And then after that, if the market you are buying today, put a stop loss near to this point here, okay? If you're buying, put a stop loss near, that means you're putting about 200 point stop loss, right? And if it goes up, you make 500 points, okay? You make about 700 points. So 200 points for stop loss, 700 points for profit. That's a pretty key idea. So if the market goes the other way around and comes down, then you can short it below the 13,414 because that is the 85% mark, 80% mark, and then aim for 12,800. Got it? It's a very, very simple strategy that I've been using it. And of course, profit was pretty decent from here itself. Okay, guys? Okay. All right, so you got an idea now. Look at S&P now. Okay, now the S&P 500 is also doing almost the same thing. All right, so you can see from the highest point, it went down all the way, but it missed the 85% mark by a bit of a few points. And then now it went all the way back to 95, which it couldn't stay on. That's why it came back down beautifully back to 90. So now the thing is this, if you're going to go up, right, how high would it go? I think easily 43.37 mark because that is the S&P at 90%. But if it cannot stay above it and start to pull back, then of course the next figure will be back here itself, and that will be 4096. So if you ask me today, right, because of Alphabet and this Alphabet and this Microsoft earnings, right, I kind of suspect that the S&P may be going back to here itself, 43.37. Yeah, I suspect that now S&P is 43.06, right? Yeah, now S&P is 43.06, right? So I believe that the market may be going back to 43.37. I'm gonna put it there for you, huh? Okay, S&P now is at 43.06. Suspect it may go back up to 43.37 plus. Okay, so again, you can see that I'm not just a bear, I'm a bull also, right? So today is all right, undeniable, I'm a bull today. So which means that from a bull, from a bear to the bull, and who knows, 2 days later, I become a bear again. Understand that? All right. So if you agree with my statement itself, right, go to my little comment and click the like button on it itself. That will be the best thing to confirm and validate. Okay. So with that, how about the Dow Jones then? Okay. So this is the Dow Jones. So I suspect that this may happen. The Dow Jones was at 100%. It went down to 95, and it went down to 90, and after that, it rebounded beautifully back to 95. And when 95, we came back down again, it came back to 90, and for this base again, go back up to 95. So this time around, it did come down, but it did not go long enough to hit even the 90 mark and rebounded strongly back to the 95. But about 95, a big BMB came in and the profit was given, and it misses the 90% by a whisker. So where would it be going? Well. If you look at it itself, then by right, you will go back to here. And this is back to 35,105. Okay, so that is what it's supposed to do based on what we've been seeing. But if you were to ask me, okay, my personal take is that maybe somewhere around here instead. So where is this figure? I think this figure itself is something that I'm much more comfortable, and that will be 34,780. Yeah. That will be here, 34,780. So which means that now it's 34,122, right? Right, okay. So which means that now I'm saying that if the market really wants to go up, the Dow may have to go up, back up again to 34,780 first. Now, of course, if it doesn't and start to pull back, then my target will be pretty outright 33,258 will be the target that I'm looking out for the Dow Jones on the downside. Okay, so again, very clear, very specific. I think that you should be able to make some money as long as you follow what I just said. Okay, cool, yeah. All right, so with that aside, I'm going to skip all this. Oh, sorry. Okay, so let's go into some of the local and global news, right? The greater Chinese market down, with Shenzhen stock down by 6% and oil price down by 3%. So the main is because of the COVID situation now in Shanghai, and of course it is spreading. According to some news itself, they're saying that, right, despite the harsh lockdown in the largest city, Shanghai, over the weekend, capital Beijing warned that the virus has been spreading undetected for about a week in Beijing. Oh my goodness. So imagine that if Beijing also got hit and there's a lockdown on it itself, my God, this is going to be very bad because we have all the main city being locked down once at least. So you can see on the joke side itself, right, this is really a joke, yeah? So don't get too upset with this, it's a joke. Now you can see that, right, people are getting pretty upset. Now, never been here before, the Chinese people dare to say this. I wouldn't want to say this on this Facebook too, but you can understand this, right? It's like down with CCP. And this is really scary because people are getting very pissed off because of the current situation. And of course, you can see that the one in white, they are not, in case of people thought that they are actually the nurses, you're wrong. Actually, some of the police and Secret Service agents, they are underneath this white uniform, right? So we know that that is the protection thingy. So under that cover itself, right, they are taking down people. This guy is kicking a civilian because the civilian refused or didn't really participate in it. So that is how bad it is. If Singapore side itself, right, we have people pushing away our social distancing officer, but in China itself, right, you get bashed up like this. This is really crazy. And of course, people start to think this is really nuts. Look at your house. Imagine you are at a home right now and you have this around you in your wing. Of course, you can climb above it, but the point is to cage in this manner itself doesn't make sense. And look at the way the food. Now, this is really the food given by the what do you call, by the government, and they just leave it like that itself. Seriously, I mean, that's why people say, what's the difference between us and you and the animals right now? Pretty sad though. So this is what is happening right now, and kind of really appreciate in Singapore we are able to move around today. Yeah, so our government has did a fantastic job to allow us to really got COVID and we can all move on versus the zero policy. So this is from, of course, you may say that, okay, Cal, can we something more, more different, like, some Chinese English stuff. Well, apparently I managed to get some for you. Apparently, okay, this is some Caucasian staying in Beijing. So apparently now in Beijing, in Chongyang, right, there are people basically getting worried because there's mass testing for everyone and there's empty shelves because people saw what happened in Shanghai, They saw what happened in Guangzhou. So definitely Beijing also get upset already, and everybody is stripping away whatever food they can eat. All right. So, and the worst thing is there's some large private consumer kitchenware manufacturer told us that they've been seeing a large contraction in demand. So meaning that right now, people are not really doing much cooking and hope there's something much can do. And of course, the scary part is this, the ocean container volume, the TEUS, leaving China for US port is staggering, okay? Our ocean TEU volume index in SONA now has a 14 days forward look at the volume, and it looks ugly. By early May 2022, we could see the lowest level we've seen since May 2020. That means that there is no container leaving from China to America. So you can imagine now what will happen. The supply, if it's not able to reach America in time, if that's going to happen, I cannot imagine what will happen to the prices in US. This is the point I want to try to reiterate to you. So please understand this. The world's biggest exporter now can't export. So what will happen to their GDP? The world's biggest importer cannot get the things that they get from China. Think about this. What will happen to the price itself inside the country? So this is something that is very scary in May. And that's the reason why I say May, June, July, we may be able to see the Dow Jones trading lower. So that's my reason, one of them. Now, of course, Twitter agreed to take on Elon Musk deal. Okay, so the price, they are looking at $54.20. Yesterday, Twitter share went up to $51.70. So there's 4.8% on the upside. So of course, some people say that this is there is still a lot of things may happen. The stock may not confirm yet. People are buying in anticipation, but I believe that this will happen. So remember, I told you Twitter share is a buy. Initially, it went up to $54.20, right? Yes, that was a price that Elon Musk set. Then there was some profit taking because something that it may not happen. But I told you about $45, you can try. And now it's going back. So I believe that $54.20 will be strike. Yes, I believe in that. With the volume pretty big itself, right? And ahead of earnings, I think that there's a chance that $54.20 will be triggered in a matter of days. Okay, so that's my view on Twitter. Now, of course, now Joe Biden and officials are pretty worried of Elon Musk because why? Elon Musk may allow Donald Trump to go back into Twitter. So apparently it's all right. There was this ongoing viral posting. It's quite funny though. It's not real, yeah? It's good to be back, April 15. Okay. All right, this is not real. This is not real, okay? All right, so thanks, Elon. It didn't really happen. Just someone really literally make it out of nowhere. But of course, I can tell you this, if Elon Musk allowed Donald Trump to be back into Twitter, I guarantee you it's a buy for Twitter. It's a buy, yeah? It's a definitely buy. Now, US wants Russia to be weakened as Blinken says Moscow has already failed. So apparently it's all right, the state of Secretaries of State, Anthony Blinken, all right, really wants to go for it itself, right? So the question is this, why is UK coming in so strongly with US every time? Why whenever US want to go for somebody, this UK will come along? Now, of course, the thing is this, people say, oh, because they are, we are the Western side, they said they want to do it together. But I just feel that UK is always like tagging along, right? So I was not really paying much concern until I realized in history, back in 1940s when the World War II happened, right, there was apparently a problem. Now, apparently, if you didn't know this, okay, US actually is the creditor. UK was the debtor. So apparently, since the World War II, there's a loan to be paid off over 50 years. My God. So apparently, it's all right. The amount itself is not a very big, small amount. It's quite sizable, yeah? And UK has just only completed paying a final installment in 2006. I mean, that was about, what, 16 years ago. But I realized that ever since then itself, history shows that, right, UK will always follow US in whatever they do. Now you understand why? Yes, indeed, very interesting, yeah? So because of that jump to my point here itself, you can see why am I kind of worried, because you can see now the UK troops are actually going everywhere to support the Ukrainian. Now, UK got this group called SAS, we all know, right, the special service. All right, these people, this particular group itself is actually entering Ukraine very openly. Yes, very openly. So from actually a quiet troop going in now, it's now very open. So think about this, is UK trying to create a world war themselves, or because under some people instigation, or some people telling that you have to do this because you're under me right now? Not too sure. But apparently it's all right. This is what is happening now in Russia, Ukraine, and to me it's all right. This is getting worse and worse, okay? It's not helping. So in case you say, Cal, this one got any you get all this from the Taiwanese this talk show, do they have any confirmation? Now for me is that right, I don't do only one way, I do two ways. I make sure that I listen, I also do my research. So you can see now, these are confirmation from Reuters, New Sky, US News, Metro UK. So apparently it seems that right, the SAS are really as we reported that the special forces, they are actually entering. So it's really, really true that Russia knows about it, and now you understand why it's so right. They actually didn't allow this Boris Johnson to enter Russia. Now it makes a lot of sense. Got it? Okay. Now, but the thing is this, I know that by showing this now, it may not be nice to some of you, because I know some of us are very sold by the Western power and news, but you can see that, right, this is from real time. So apparently this particular journalist went down. We all heard of this thing whereby there was a mass grave at the devastated city of Mariupol, right? We heard this on news, right? The problem is this, okay, you don't see that at all. Now, apparently, the only thing that the so-called graves was only here, this area. Now, this doesn't look at like 6,000 or 8,000 grave, right? And this whole area itself is blank. It's totally blank. But the thing is this, I thought there was some satellite images about that, but apparently the real deal is it's not. So maybe those who like to do this can watch, can go to Google and see whether the thing is real or not. But of course, more important is the mainstream media really look at it. From CNBC to Washington Post to Guardian itself, right? All of them says that there is a mass grave for war crimes. But the thing is this, there's no evidence. So look at it, there's no evidence of that. So basically it's all right. They actually asked the people, the grave digger, and they say, no, every grave got a coffin. So which means that it's not a mass grave. Mass grave is that everybody just chuck it in. And of course, you can see, look at the what they call the burial ground. They even have flowers. If this is going to be a mass exodus, then of course, where got flowers, right? So apparently the reporter now is right at the place and they're reporting there is no second Bucha. So where is a mass killing? That's a very big question here itself. So again, I say, guys, I'm not trying to cite Russia or Ukraine or UK or US, but I just feel that right, sometimes in life you cannot look at things just because people tell you that. You look at it really and check it out. And truth be told, it's been shown. Okay, now again, FYI, real time is a propaganda channel too, undeniable. But to me itself, I don't bring them in unless they show me evidence. Yeah, so that is real evidence. Okay, so what are the important market data for today itself? Do note again and again, today itself, right, we have Microsoft and Alphabet coming out their earnings after market close. And I suspect that the numbers will be good. I repeat, the numbers I suspect will be good for, at least for Microsoft, okay? The numbers should be good for Microsoft. Alphabet, okay, like in between. Now, Meta, no, I don't think Meta will be good. So I'm informing you upfront. Twitter, of course, it will be bad, but who knows, Elon Musk may twist around. Apple, it should be good. Amazon should be okay. So I understand now my view on all this itself, right? Okay, about how I see it. Okay, so these are the arrows I'm pointing it for you now. For today is the 26th of April. Okay, interesting, yeah? Okay. All right, so apparently JP Morgan very surprisingly predicts that iPhone revenue to drop 4 when Apple reports later this week. That's very interesting. So apparently it's all right. JP Morgan projected Apple to report just only 45 billion in revenue, which is down by 48 billion last year, yeah? So JP Morgan trimmed its target from 210 to 205. But still the target is still 26% above the price of the Apple share. So to me, if you tell me the thing is lower, but your target is much higher, to me, it's just telling me upfront you're still expecting the share to go higher, right? So that's the reason why I felt that Apple share will be doing well this coming Thursday. So traders, kindly take note of that. Now, central banks need to put on rates hike fast. We all know that, but apparently some people say that no way, the Federal Reserve won't do that because it's too painful and because there is some inflation tapering off and the midterm elections coming in November. It's very difficult for the Federal Reserve to really go for the kill. Now, I don't agree with this statement because I feel that, right, they are doing that right now to basically bring back the money back to themselves. And after that, maybe by June, July, it may bottom out and they buy it from there. Now, of course, the first month, people get pissed off. But when you feed people enough money and give enough money to the society or the earnings or your pocket, usually people just forget. So that's my point here is I don't think Federal Reserve will hold back. In fact, they'll go for it. Now, Morgan Stanley, as I told you right earlier, Mike Wilson thinks that S&P 500 is headed for a bear market and offers a few places to hide. So apparently, whenever Morgan Stanley chief strategist Michael Wilson come in, right, the market recover, but overall it's really down. So his point is this: now the market, obviously, when it goes to 20%, it's very a bear territory. So actually, the Nasdaq actually touched, but usually after it touched, it rebounded, right? Expected. But if it goes down again, this may get much more scary. Now, do not at the same time. Of course, he's saying that right now we have this rotation, sector rotation, a bit here and there. But once the market is really selling, overall index itself, right, no matter who, will all be hit. So that's the reason why he feel that you just have to go slow. Now, of course, there'll be a lot of people telling you that falling inflation itself is bad for economy and stuff. It will hurt, but it will not hurt as bad, okay? So in short, he believed that, right, there will be some selling very soon, and this will actually be by May itself, right? Okay. So some alternate market news for today, as I promised to you. Let's take a look. Now, once again, remember about this coming Saturday event. Don't miss it, okay? Now, we can see from the chart here itself, right? This is the crude oil chart. Okay, sorry for the PowerPoint issue again. Now, this is the crude oil chart recently. Now, the crude oil chart shows evidently after the start of the Ukraine war, the oil price goes up, right? Okay, then after that, it fizzles out, it tries again, it fizzles out, it tries again, it fizzles out. Now, you can see very clearly now, this is point A, this is point B, this is point C. So very clear is that, right, the next wave itself will be slightly lower than C. Okay, it's what the market is looking at. So because of this, the oil price itself, right, seemingly is being pushed back down, and I suspect the main driver is the all the sanction. So if they want to really recover oil, it must be a point of the day itself, right, when you say that, okay, all the thing is settled, okay, you can go back to normal dive, okay, and that's why things will really happen. But the interesting part is this: the CEO themselves, like John Hees, Tillman, Mike Witt, all of them done their company stock in the first quarter. Now, the first quarter, actually, if you look at it, it's actually only here. First quarter is only here. So they done is expected. But you look at it, the moment they done, right, I think some of them must be pissed off themselves because the market just shoot up all the way. All right, so once again, this is something to tell you that, you know, even though the boys may be the CEO, but they also may not know what will happen in the future, okay? All right, so that is the market. Let's take a look at the second one. This is the 10-year yield inversion. Now, to me, it's all right. The inversion already done in 2019 and 2020 during the pandemic time. So by right, it's all right. They say within 6 months to 2 years, you get to see you get to see it happening. So the thing is this: you can watch over here is whenever there is a pandemic happen, right, the stock market most of the time will be coming down. Okay, will be coming down. Now the magnitude itself may not be big, but at first we know that it's coming down. So what is going to happen is that is the S&P going to drop? It's going to drop soon. Well, I suspect it will. So thing is this: if you can do that, that will be excellent. Okay. Now, this is the freight cash freight index suggests weaker economy. It's very clear. So now the thing is this: the shipment itself is very, very low. It's near to this recession area, and the expenditure is going up because you pay more, right? So the thing is this: with the decoupling, right, what will happen is that the economy will suffer. This is something that we all learned in economy 101. Now, this is the chart that, of course, shouldn't happen and mustn't happen. All right, this is what happened in 2008. So someone actually take the effort to actually mimic 2002 on it, superimpose. So by right, it shows that, right, before FOMC, there should be some recovery there. Now, of course, FOMC is on the 5th of May, and Thursday will be the news. What do you call the like Apple and this Amazon, their earnings. If the earnings are good itself, likely the market really go up. And if it really goes up itself, it may really fit what happened as in 2008. So if that means that once you hit FOMC meeting, who knows, the Federal Reserve will say about the 50 basis point and may sell more, and then that was the start of the selling. Can you see that? Okay, that is what the this is what people are doing that. Well, I kind of follow through. I believe that there will be some selling by the early of May, but is it because of this? I'm not be sure, but I'm just sharing with you, right, as alternate market data. All right, got an idea now? Okay, so now we're doing the stocks first before we go to this, but the bull goes moo, the bear goes grr, and the flamingo is different this time. Okay, so let's look at the first stock is Occidental Petroleum. As you can see, I told you it will come down to the moving average and really spot on. It really hit the moving average and recover, right? So Oxy was definitely spot on yesterday. Oxy. Okay. All right. So after that, what will happen? Well, to me is that the downside will be somewhere around here at about $48, as I told you that. If it stays below MA, it will go back up again to $61. So traders can consider on this particular trade. Now, volume has been low. It's quite understandable, but the earnings is coming out soon. With the counter, you can see now from January to March, the counter itself also been going up, right? Not say a lot. So that proves that, right, the coming earnings will be good. The earnings on this coming time itself will be good. When will that be? It will be on the 10th of May. It will be a good result. I believe in that. Okay. Okay, next counter itself to do the fangs or all the fangs that I promised you. Sorry. Right, Meta, let's take a look. Now, Meta shares has nosedive, and I told you before, right, it will come down to the low here itself at 180. Really, it has been triggered at 180, almost there, and rebounding. So the thing is this, I mentioned that, right, if the market cannot cross 220, it's a feeble number for me. The market will come down to this area mark at 80%, which of course it really happened. Yeah. All right, so where will this go from here? Well, if this Microsoft can, this Penta can find some recovery, it'll be good, but I suspect that it will go up to here first. Okay, what number is this? 168. All right, I already told you that this is my target for you, so yes. Next counter will be Amazon. Now, Amazon shares also came down from the high itself. I told you, and I said that it will break the MA. It will likely come down. And where did it stop? Well, if you can remember, all the all right, the support is something that I mentioned, right? 2850. Remember that? I told you. And indeed, the market really come down perfectly. The market really come down to this point perfectly. So a gentle rebound is actually expected to about 3,050. So that means that from the now it's 29221, likely it will rebound to 3050. Okay. All right, so that is Amazon. Let's look at Alphabet. Okay, Alphabet. So for Alphabet itself, right, I told you it will likely go down to this point, and indeed it happened. And because there was no support, you can see Alphabet shares coming down. Okay, Alphabet shares coming earnings is actually later today. All right, on the 26th of April, later today. So watch out for this. Now, I suspect with a movement like this, there should be some upside to go. And that will be 2550. Then after that, the selling will resume. Okay, all right, so that is the Alphabet. Google, sorry. Alphabet, Google, same thing, yeah. So the Amazon, Google, then Google, done. Then of course, what we have is Netflix already over. I mean, just show to you. Right, you can see Netflix continue to drop. Now it's 209. I already said that, right? Netflix most likely will able to see 200. So even hit 200 itself, right? I don't think there's anywhere it should be going likely more of going down further. Okay, unless something very magically happen. All right, so Netflix I'm done. Baba. Okay. Now, Baba really came down to cover the gap. I told you, right, to cover the gap. Yesterday, Baba share come down to about $81. Okay, so Baba, all right, the gap is still not complete yet. The Baba share may have to come down to about $78 first. Then maybe we will see some recovery. Only at $78 traded first. Okay, all right. Okay. We'll look at this now, the Microsoft. As I told you, I'm pretty confident on Microsoft today. So Microsoft shares should be able to move back up to about $292. All right, current price is about 280. So that's my price here. Last one is Tesla. Now, Tesla yesterday share recovered. Okay, share recovered. Okay, so not sure what happened, but the share recovered used the report. So if Tesla go up, right, I suspect it will be done at 2080. Okay, this should be the level that I think Tesla will be going. It's 1080. Yeah, and after that, right, I think that will be all for that time. Okay, all right, so I'm done with all the counters here, the thanks. I really hope that you guys can make some money out of this. Now, end of the day, your trading itself is most important to us, okay? All right, once again, don't forget that we are going to have our first basic class this coming week. So let me just show you the dates again. Just give me a moment, yeah? Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, there's some hang earlier. Now it's back to normal again. Okay, there's some error here. So sorry, I'm going to just skip this part, this segment right now. Okay, so let's look at the chart, shall we, for today? Let's take a look. China market went below the MLP, which I told you, right? And I told you that once it loses that, there will be selling, and truth be told, the selling really came down on China A50. As you can see this morning, there was some rebound, so I believe that the plunge protection team have came in to solve this. But as long as 13,243 is not able to go above it, likely there will be selling again. So that's the reason why I said that this is likely the same thing that happened. All right, before the market came off back for the Nasdaq. So I believe that this will also happen again. Okay, so let's look at the Dow Jones to begin with today. Dow Jones now today is very important information is that the opening price is here, but at the same time, the pivot one is here. So above OP, above pivot one, CCRY is a buy, right? But the KSI is red, right? Hey, wait a minute, how come the KSI got no tick? It's because these two share the identical tick high. So because of that itself, right, there'll be no tick on the top right corner. Very rare. It is very rare to have this. But if it happens itself, that means a big movement is coming in. So for this Dow Jones, it may go up all the way. We never know. All right. But if it goes below OP, then the selling will be until 33,932. Okay. Got it? Pretty interesting, huh? Okay. Next market itself is Nasdaq. Now, Nasdaq today is also above P1 and it's trading above OP. Again, that's the thing. The Nasdaq really came down to the BMB minus 1 time 1 time, 2 time. Only 2 times the market already given you the profit. All right, once again, this really speaks volume. All right, about, okay, all right, over here. So this is what happened when the market broke below it, it came down all the way. Yeah. Okay. So today is above P1. Huh? Kindly take note of that. S&P 500. S&P 500 went down straight. Incredible. With the same day when it opened, it went down all the way, hit the 42.56 exactly, no more, no less. Yesterday confirms it and rebounded strongly. Now today, the two moving average is working against you, but MLP is supporting you. So what is happening right now is that if the S&P to go up, right, maybe somewhere in the midpoint section here. This is what I felt that it will be going, and that's about it. And that way for 43. Let's try. Yeah, about that. 43.27. Okay. All right. Now it's 43.06 to see 43.27. It's about 20 more points upside to go. 20 more points is about 160 points Dow Jones. Yeah? It is potentially possible. Now, Hang Seng today is also above the pivot one. So a lot of people say that today Hang Seng will crash. I say no, because why? Hang Seng is actually below 2 MAs, but it's now trading above the MLP. Can you see that? And it's above the P1 right now. Above OP, above P1 is very strong. And the KSI, although it's red, but very clearly is actually on the downtick side. Downtick KSI means that the market is bullish, or at least there's some buying interest right now. Okay, so how high can the Hang Seng go? Well, it can go back all the way here itself to 20,600 level. Okay, it might be going there. Well, this is the Nikkei, and Nikkei also have the same thing. If Nikkei stays above pivot 1 and stays up, it will be good. It may go all the way back to this 27,166. Now, if it stays down, and do note this is a doji directional day, that means that it can come down all the way to 26,652. So it's going to be interesting here for the Nikkei. This is a doji at a crossroad. So you have to pick which side should it be going. So it will be awesome numbers. Okay, DAX is down yesterday. The DAX is down yesterday, but today expecting it to recover back to here, 14,256 level. Okay, I will be there, and this is where I'm looking at for the DAX to go. Okay, all right. Then after that, we have oil right now. Oil is still pretty sideways, but more towards the downside. But today it's up already. Why? Pivot 1 is in place. As long as the market is above OP and above pivot 1, right, it's a very strong indication that the market will go up. And this is proven and proven and proven hundreds of times already. And that's why today, when I see things happening, right, I prefer to go long. Yeah, example, this is all the appointment itself that I can see, and all I'm making money. Those who are with me the last 2-3 days are all making money. Yep. Okay. All right. Last few slides. Now this is gold. Now gold today is very important. Gold itself today, the opening price is, and the high is, the opening price and the high is exactly the same. Low, sorry, 1897 is the same. So today opening price and the day low is the same as of now, and the price is 1897. So which means that as long as gold stays up, the target gold will be going to be 1913. Okay. Now the thing is, how come people are replying on this? Because people actually dig out on him and look at this. So if gold will go up, right, 1913 will be the first target, but I think it's a bit tough to reach there. So I think a lower time frame should be able to get it done. And you can see the star is already there already. So I suspect that if the gold price were to go up, it will go to 1905 first. Okay. And if you go higher, you may go to the next KTR, and that's 1912. You're going to go all the way. Okay. All right. You may go to 1920, and 1920 is in between the the target 1913. So if you think that will happen, let's give it a try. Now for me today, gold, I'm a buyer today, and I'm watching the star here right now, a star. So how do you trace a star? Draw two lines, as you can see me drawing, and I can now feel which of you are actually more eager to succeed and see how it goes from here. Okay, all right, so that is gold. Now gold, of course, was followed by silver. Silver is trying to find its way up because we have came down all the way, but now it's actually trading above pivot 1 and above OP of the day. And if you have done that itself, then excellent. All right, this is very good. Okay, so the upside, if it goes up for silver, it'll be at $23.95. All right, okay, there's something to take note there. $23.95 nearby. Okay, Bitcoin. Oops, sorry. Bitcoin for today. Now, Bitcoin, I thought it was going down. I was wrong. Bitcoin actually firmed up instead. So now with this Bitcoin actually staying firm, that basically also makes sure that there be no more problem and stuff. So for Bitcoin, as long as it stays up above the RL level, you may test this point here, 40. Yeah, 42.1, 21.6. Okay, so what happened? If the thing Bitcoin goes up, it will try to cross 241.216 first. If it goes higher, then it may go to 12,600. So what are we talking about? The upside could be other ways, 42,615. Yeah, sorry, a bit high, a little bit bad on this. Okay, all right, cool. All right, so that will be the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin at the moment now, we have the boys are still selling, but the blue bars are retreating. So that means there could be some buying. My first target will be 41.216, then the next target is 42.615. Okay, at least this will be the first two near-term target. Now, before we go, let me just gently remind you guys, I'm actually pretty bullish today, not because I'm bullish for the rest of the months, but is that today I expect the market to go up first. Then after that, hit a peak and everybody chasing again, and then that's where everybody get caught and price come back down. Good idea? That is what happened. Now, do note for today, there'll be Super Tuesday coming up. I will show you live how do you use the robot, okay? And this will be implemented in May itself. Okay, guys, thank you once again for today. All right, I really hope that you guys understand why I do MAO today, because I'm really very concerned for you and I want you to succeed in trading. Okay, bye-bye, guys. Have a great day. I will see you later. Bye-bye.